Okay, so what's the boy code? The boy code is basically a kind of rule book about what it means to be a boy, what it means to be a guy, and what it means to be a man. Unfortunately, nobody sits down with you at any moment and says, like at your 10th birthday party, nobody says, okay, here's the rule book, just memorize this and you'll be okay. So the boy code is basically this set of rules that you kind of find out as you go along, almost by doing it wrong.
We start out by calling boys a girl was the means of devaluing him. You see coaches do it all the time. You play like a girl. And for boys, again, we're taught very early on that that's a place of less value, a place we don't want to be. So if a coach tells a boy he's playing like a girl, the boy immediately bucks up and tries hard. It's actually used as a means of motivation. Heterosexual men put gay men in the same place that they put women and girls, in this place of less value. So boys will hear things like you're playing like a girl, you're acting like a chump, you're acting like a sissy, like you're soft, like you're faggot, like you're a punk, you're gay, all these names that are used to denigrate women and gay men. So if I'm not strong, I gotta act like I'm strong. If I'm not tough, I gotta act like I'm tough. If I'm scared, I gotta act like I'm not scared.
Watch him, watch him, watch him. Hit him! Oh! Ah! Get my face.
You played really well.
You didn't play really well. We lost. Shut up. What are you doing here?
Can watch Kenny play?
I don't want you watching the game. You understand that? You little faggot. You're standing there like a little pussy. What you gonna do if I push you, huh? You gonna cry?
Come on, Ray, he didn't do anything.
What, you sticking up for him? What, are you guys gay? What you gonna do if I punch you in your face? You're worthless.
Come on, leave him alone, man.
Shut up, kitty. What are you looking at? You're only here because your mother's a whore. If you weren't such a pussy, this wouldn't be happening to you. Let me see that. Get him.
If you're sitting there and you're seeing somebody being bullied, you're not going to feel very good about it. On the other hand, you're also saying to yourself, you're making a calculation. Like, okay, I see this going on. What do? I don't feel good about it. But, if I say something, they'll come after me. I don't want them to come after me, and I don't want my friends to think I'm like the target kid. If you dare to stand up for the kid who's being targeted, you're just as bad as he is, and you're a potential target. This is a organizing moment, right? This is a moment where you go up to the other bystanders and you say, hey, are we gonna just stand, are we gonna watch this? Are we gonna just stand around and let them do this? This is wrong. We're more than them. Right? It's an organizing moment. It's not yes, sure, you can do the right thing. You can say, hey, you can't do that. I like this guy, you can't do that. You can do that, fine. And, you could get, and then you could get marginalized too. Okay, fine. Now there's 2 of you there. Okay, great. But there can't be 100 of you there, right? There can't be 100 kids who are marginalized and 3 bullies. Can't be done.
I wasn't taught growing up that I'm supposed to look out for kids who are being bullied. I was kind of taught that, that they had to figure out how to hold their own, that they had to at least go down swinging. You didn't have to win the fight, but be in the fight. Those was the rules that I was taught. I know today differently. I don't believe that today. And you don't have to fight, and you don't have to be aggressive. And it's wonderful to be a gentleman. It's wonderful to be non-confrontational.
We often think in this culture that, there's bullies and there's targets, and then there's all the rest of us. But studies of bullies and targets actually show something quite different. It shows that many people who are bullies were themselves bullied. And some people who were targets, not as many, are also themselves bullies in other situations. So, for example, you could be a target at your school and then be a bully on your soccer team, right? Or you could be a bully in school and a target on your soccer team. So it doesn't, so there's a lot of fluidity. And that means that when we think about bullying, it means that we don't have the idea. It used to be this idea that bullies have no empathy. They have no compassion. They're like, they're sociopaths. They just take pleasure in being cruel to other people. But that's not true. They know what it feels like to be a target very often. And some part of their bullying is to compensate for having been a target somewhere else. I think very few kids who are targeted say how much it hurts. I think most kids who are targeted swallow it, try to tough it out, try to just keep their heads down, try to become invisible. But I don't think that many people come and say, I'm hurting. I think, we live in a culture in which boys are basically raised to think that what men do is they suck it up and they get on with it. And they ride off into the sunset, hurting like hell, but they go on to live another day.
A lot of boys who later become men, they're very comfortable with that power that they have and using it to hurt others. I believe that at some point in time, you have to really come to terms with not only your behavior and having hurt others and all that have gone on, but there's a sense of humanity that you're not having an opportunity to experience. There's a sense of freedom and just being with others and just being comfortable and being who you are in your skin and loving life in just a blessed way where, you're not being held down and weighed down by, this reputation that you have to carry throughout the day. This inability just to be you. You're always on guard. You're always, as young people would say, fronting. And in many cases, you may actually be pretending to be what you're really not and having to hold true to that day in and day out. There's a big, big price to pay, for being a bully, for living that lifestyle, for hurting others. This box is killing us. These boy codes are killing us.